الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome everyone in our today's class. This class is for first secondary grade English subject for the first semester. The lesson is U2 grammar from the book Mega Go 1. It is prepared by Khulud Farazan and presented by me, Mazna Harbi. So welcome everyone. Our objectives for our lesson today, and the things that we hope that we can achieve or learn for today's lesson is number one, to identify the difference between present perfect progressive or continuous and present perfect simple, and also to use adjectives with prepositions and gerunds, and also learn about relative pronouns and make WH questions. Okay, so let's begin and welcome everyone. So our first question we have here is, I do have two sentences for you. Welcome, by the way, Samar, Asma, Huda. I do have two sentences for you I want you to read. Number one is, Ahmed has eaten 2 sandwiches, and number two, Ahmed has been eating for 1 hour. Okay, so can you look at these two sentences and tell me what do you think the difference between them? Can you look at these two sentences and tell me what do you think the difference between them two? Ahmed has eaten 2 sandwiches, and the other one is Ahmed has been eating for 1 hour. Okay, so what do you think the difference is? So you can, we can also discuss if you want in detail about each sentence, and we can also talk. Okay, yes, Asma, you can see it on pages 22 and 23. Okay, on pages 22 and 23. Okay. So you said somewhere that the second one, end eating before. End eating before, finish eating, you mean? Okay, so you think Ahmed has been eating for 1 hour, you think that he already finished eating. What about the first one? What do you think of it? Ahmed has eaten 2 sandwiches. Has eaten 2 sandwiches. What kind of difference do you think this is related to the other one or the next one? The second sentence. Welcome Amr to the class. Now eating. Okay. So you think on the first one he's now eating, but in the second one he has been eating, he's finished eating. This is what you mean. Very good. Okay. What about the rest of you guys? What do you think? What do you think the difference between these two sentences? Our friend Summer said that in the first one he's eating right now at the moment, and on the second one he finished eating. Okay, this is what I believe Summer agree with. Okay, so what the rest of you think about Summer's answer, or if you have any different answer, just present it. Okay, the first one is in the past. Okay, what do you think of the second one, Amro? And the second one is right now. Very good, very good. Okay, so let's all of us, okay, read the very detailed explanation of these two sentences. Okay, and then we'll check whether your answers are right or wrong. Okay, very well. So let's move on. Okay, so the first tense we're going to learn about today is the present perfect progressive, and sometimes it might call the present perfect continuous. Okay, so it says here this tense is used to say how long something has been happening. Okay, and focus on the word how long. Okay, this is a key word. So here in this tense, It helps us to know how long, okay, something is happening. So, and this is how can we form such sentences in this tense, okay? We started with the subject, and then we use either has or have, depend on the subject, and then we add been, and the verb ing, and then the time, okay? Let's see, let's have an example here. So it says here, this example, Hanan has been reading a book for 2 hours, okay? Hanan has been reading a book for 2 hours, okay? So this sentence shows that Hanan has been reading a book for 2 hours. This is, okay, this type of tense, okay, we usually use it with for or since to indicate time, okay? For or since to indicate time, to see how long this action was happening or has been happening, okay? So the keywords here to talk about an action, okay, that happens in the past and still happening right now, okay? And if you want to indicate how long or how much time this action was actually happening, okay, how long, this is the key word of this tense, okay, is to use has or have plus been, okay, plus the verb ing. So let's try these two sentences, okay. So I want you to choose which is, do you think, the right answer. So it says here, Sarah has read or reads or has been reading for 1 hour, okay. So what do you think of this sentence? What do you think we should choose? Yes, Huda? Yes, has been reading. Yes, very good, okay. And we choose has been reading because this sentence indicates or tells us that Sarah has been reading. She read, she did it in the past and she's still doing it. Very good, Huda. She did it in the past and she's still doing it. But what we're looking for actually here is how long, okay? We're looking for how long. This is what, distinguish this tense, okay, is to know for how long this action is happening, okay. So very good, it is Sarah has been reading, okay, it is Sarah has been reading for 1 hour, okay, for 1 hour. Excellent. And let's move on to the other sentence. They have been painting or paint or have painted since 3 hours, okay. Have painted, okay. What do you think? It has been painting, okay. And now on the next tense summer we will know why we can choose have painted, okay. So very good, it is have been painting, okay, because of here we indicate time, okay, because in this sentence the purpose of this sentence, okay, to talk about how long, okay, to talk about how long. And if you want to talk about how long, we must use been, the in between have and painting, okay. So this is as we said, the purpose of the present progressive, present perfect progressive. And here as you said, here are the right answers, okay. So now our question is, how can we ask or how can we make questions, okay, with using this tense, okay? For example, this is another example also. Huda has been working at that company for 3 years, okay? So if this is the purpose, imagine that you don't see this one, okay? So if this is the purpose for 3 years, okay, and we want I want you to make a question, okay, to ask about these 3 things, okay. So what would that question would be? Excellent, Shireen. Yes, we must start with how long, okay. So as you can see here, the question will start with how long has Huda been working at that company, okay, because as I said, okay, the purpose of the present perfect progressive, okay, is to ask about how long. How long is the key word of this tense, okay? And here also we have another example. She has been teaching at the university since June, okay? And if I ask you to make a question, okay, just to tell me how long she has been teaching, you start your question with how long, okay? How long has she been teaching at the university? As you can see here, the formation of how to make a double-edged question with the present perfect progressive, okay? You started with how long plus either have or has, it depends on the subject, and then the subject, and then of course the verb being, the helping verb being, and then the main verb adding to it ing, and then the rest of the sentence. Very well, now we will move, okay, as I promised you, we will move to the other tense, okay, which is present perfect simple, okay, present perfect simple, okay, and pay attention that in this tense, used to say how many things have been done or how many times. So here are the keywords, is not how long, but actually how many, okay? How many or how many times, okay? So what we're looking for now in this tense is how many things are done, or how many things, or how many times we have done this thing, okay? That happened in the past and still happening right now, okay? So here, as you can see, the formation of such tense, we started with the subject and then either has or have, and then verb with past participle, which is the third form of the verb, of any verb, okay? And then the quantity, the numbers, okay? The how many times actually this is the action we're talking about is happening. So let's see right here. Hanan has read 30 pages. Hanan has read 30 pages, okay? So here actually we use the present perfect symbol, which is included with has, and also the third form of the verb, the third form of the verb, any verb, okay, which is in this case is read, okay? And then after this you mention the quantity, the numbers, the how many, okay? So let's have an example here. Huda finished or has been finishing 2 paintings, okay? Of course, in this one, as Summer said, we will use has finished. Why? Because if we use has been finishing, it won't rhyme with 2 paintings, okay? If we said here, for example, Huda has been finishing for 3 hours, then has been finishing will be right. But with since it's mentioned already the quantity, the numbers, okay, 2 paintings, then the answer would be has finished. Excellent, Summer, okay? So the answer here will be has finished, okay? And the next one, Amal and Noura have studied 2 foreign languages. What do you think? Of course, Shirin, it is have studied, okay? Because again, as we said, if we want to choose have been studying, okay, it won't rhyme, it won't make sense with the complement of the sentence, of the rest of the sentence, okay? Because if we use have been studying, then here we must mention how long, okay? But since we mention here the quantity, then have studied will be the right answer, okay? Very good job. Okay, so now as you answered, here are the correct answers. So we said that the present perfect present progressive and is only for how long, if you want to ask how long something is happening, and the present perfect simple is about how many times, it's about the quantity. Very well. Now, again, as we did on the previous tense, okay, how can we make a double-edged question? Okay, so if you want to ask, you have for this sentence, let's have a look. You have seen that movie many times, okay? So you want to ask the number of times he or she has seen that movie. You will start with your question with how many, okay? You will start with your question how many, because you are asking about time, okay? And the only way in English to ask about times is to start with how many times, okay? This is the only way in English to ask about the number of times that you have been doing a certain thing, okay? So you start your question with how many times. Very well, okay? And now, and here also we have another example. The army has attacked that city 5 times, okay? 5 times. And now if I want to ask about the number of times that army has attacked, my question must started with how many times, okay? How many times has the army attacked the city? And as you can see here are the formation on how to make a double-edged question in the present perfect symbol, okay? And here, as you said, how many plus either have or has, depends on the subject, and also the verb and the rest of the sentence. Very well. Now, the other part of our lesson, or our today's lesson, okay, is how can you use adjective in expressing something, okay? For example, I am good at using computers. I am good at using computers, okay? So here are, in this rule, we're going to learn that if I want to express myself, okay, but using adjectives, okay, plus preposition and gerund to talk about the kind of verb or to the kind of action I am doing, okay? For example, as we say here, I am good at using computers. I am excellent at juggling, for example, okay? I am excellent at driving. So here is more examples of how to use adjectives with that you want to express about yourself, okay? Here we have another 2 examples. He is good at either swim or swimming, okay? Of course, Summer, we must say swimming, okay? Because this is, the rule says that if you want to use the adjective after the verb to be, okay, you must use a gerund. And here, by the way, this is not, okay, here, by the way, this is a very important note. This is not a verb. Using and swimming and serving and working are not verbs. Those are gerund. Gerund is it's like a noun on the shape of verb, okay? It's like reading. If you see here, for example, a sign that says reading. Reading number 1, reading number 2. Those are not actually verbs, but actually noun on the shape of verb. As you, this is what gerund means, okay? So the second sentence, she is interested in serving the internet, okay? Here, serving is the kind of action, okay, that she is interested in, okay? This action refers to this adjective, okay? Excellent job, Shireen, Summer, okay? And here the third sentence is, she is not very interested in work or working. What do you think, guys? It is working, Shireen, in the computer industries, okay? So here are, again, as I said, okay, those gerund, okay, or those noun on the shape of verbs, okay, refer to the adjective that we use. So if you want to use an adjective, you must add it with a gerund. You must add it with a gerund, which is a verb plus ing. Okay. Okay, and here are the answers as you said. Excellent job. Okay, so that's it. This is our lesson for today. And before you go, let me please to sum it up to sum what we have been listening to. Okay, so here we talked about the present perfect progressive, and we said this is how we can form the present perfect progressive is by adding either have or has plus been plus the verb in its third form, okay? And what this tense is actually concerned about, it's about duration. It's about how long, okay, something has been happening, okay? And then here we have, we talked also about the present perfect symbol, okay? And we said this is how we can form the present perfect simple by only adding either have or has depending on the subject plus the third form of the verb. And we said that the present perfect simple is concerned about the quantity, the how many times, okay, or how much, okay? So this is the difference between present perfect simple and present perfect progressive, okay? And the last part we talked about is the adjective plus preposition plus gerund. We said that if you want to use an adjective to express something about yourself, this is the way you can do it, okay, by adding a gerund.
Oh